For 10 years, I shared everything with a woman I thought was my therapist. One stolen phone and a social media scroll later, I uncovered a disturbing truth hidden by my own mother. What I found nearly destroyed me. Here's some background. My childhood? A complete nightmare. Like, literally. I don't remember a damn thing from the day I was born up until I turned 13. My entire early life is a puzzle I've pieced together using scraps, blurry flashes of memory, things my family has told me, and cold, impersonal police reports. But there is one person I do remember. Someone I called Auntie. No first name, no last name, just Auntie. That's all I ever knew her as. I started seeing her when I was 7. We'd sit in her cozy little living room while she typed on her laptop, recording everything I said. She had this calm, soft-spoken demeanor that made it easy to trust her. I didn't question it. I saw her once a month, and she felt like a safe space in a world that otherwise felt like it was built to break me. Fast forward 7 years, I'm 14. That's when I broke down in one of our sessions and told her I had tried to end my life. Not once, but multiple times. It was a toxic cocktail of my mom's escalating cruelty, total isolation, and the fact that I was still drowning in the trauma I never got to process as a kid. And I started to really question why these sessions weren't helping. I mean, I begged her to tell me why I kept feeling like I wanted to die. And every time, she'd dodge it like she didn't hear me. I even asked my mom, on the way to one of these appointments, if I could see someone else, someone who could actually help me. She just hissed at me to shut up. That was when things between my mom and me started to fall apart. I cried a lot about my mom in those sessions. I talked about how she was becoming this constant source of pain. But Auntie never took it seriously. She'd minimize everything I said or straight up defend my mom, like I was just being dramatic or ungrateful. Back then, I tried to justify it. Maybe she was just being empathetic. Maybe explaining why my mom acted the way she did was her way of helping me cope. But then things started to get weird. By the time I hit 16, I won't lie, I was wild. I went to parties, drank whatever was around, and definitely didn't tell anyone what I was up to. And then Auntie started asking very specific questions about it all, things I never told her. I was confused, but again, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe after nearly a decade of sessions, she just knew me that well? But it didn't stop there. A year later, she wasn't even asking anymore. She was telling me about the parties I went to, like she had been there with me. No pretense, no sugarcoating. By then, my relationship with my mom had nearly disintegrated. And the worst part? At the end of each session, Auntie started inviting my mom into the room and telling her everything I said. Everything. So there I was, sitting in that room, listening to my own words about the abuse, the fear, the emotional wreckage being handed over to the woman who caused it. After that, my life unraveled fast. My grades tanked. My mom basically put me under house arrest. I was completely cut off from the world. And then came my 17th birthday. I cracked. I ran into my mom's room, desperate, rummaging through drawers, cabinets, anything, looking for something I could use to just end it. I didn't even know what I was searching for. I was just moving on instinct, like my body had given up on hope and was trying to shut itself down. Then I found it, her walk-in closet. I'd barely ever gone in there before, totally forgot it even existed. But I flung the door open and started tearing through everything. That's when I saw it, a suitcase tucked beneath some hanging clothes. It didn't look old or dusty, so I popped it open. What I saw inside stopped me cold. Stacks and stacks of papers. So many that my brain short-circuited for a second. I dropped to the floor, cross-legged, heart-pounding, staring at them like they were about to explode. Then I started reading. They were transcripts. My transcripts. Notes from my sessions with Auntie, pages and pages of them, going all the way back to the beginning. I felt nauseous, the kind of sick that claws at your insides and doesn't let go. But I had just enough clarity to grab a few early pages and tuck them away. I didn't want to draw attention to what I'd found. Reading those transcripts raised more questions than answers. And that night, I made up my mind. I was going to find out what the hell was going on before I turned 18, because I knew deep down that my time in that house was running out. The countdown had started. From that point on, I paid attention. Real attention. I scanned her house for clues during sessions. I studied her like a detective, watching her every move. I grilled my mom about Auntie constantly, and all my mom would ever say, over and over again, like a broken record, "She's a psychologist." Everything changed the day I did something that could have completely wrecked my life. I stole my mother's phone. Sounds small now, almost stupid, but back then it felt like life or death. My mom was in the shower, and I'd already packed a bag with enough stuff to be gone for a few hours, maybe a few nights. As soon as I heard that bathroom door click shut, I grabbed her phone and ran like hell. I didn't even look at it until I was safely on the bus. First stop, her messages. I scrolled through her text like my life depended on it, and honestly, it did. Then I found it. A contact I didn't recognize. Bingo. It became pretty clear real quick that this was Auntie. The messages showed every time my mom booked an appointment with her. I scrolled through years of texts, long enough for the bus to carry me across the city to somewhere, anywhere. I felt safe. But even after reading every single word, there was nothing that screamed, "She's not legit." So I moved on to her call logs, and that's when I saw it. They talked a lot. Constant calls. Long calls. Whatever secrets they were sharing weren't in writing. They were smart about it. Honestly, props for the strategy, but it didn't give me the answers I needed. So I got off the bus and sat on the side of the road, my back to a brick wall, flipping through her phone like it held the key to my entire life. I went through her social media, searched Auntie's name. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. I remember this wave of hopelessness crashing over me so hard it felt like my body was giving out. Even now, I can still feel that sick, sinking feeling in my gut if I think about it too long. I almost gave up. Almost. I thank myself every day for what I did next, just mindlessly swiping through my mom's followers. That's when I found her. Auntie. The profile name was some weird fake name, but when I clicked, it was her. 100%. Selfies, group pics with my mom's friends, and then the photo that made everything click, a picture of her and my mom together, posted years ago. They'd been friends since before I was even born. Suddenly, everything made sense. Why Auntie never hesitated to spill everything I said to my mom, why she defended her, session after session, why she had access to transcripts. It was all one giant betrayal, wrapped in years of lies and manipulation. I didn't even bother finding a place to crash that night. I went straight home, and yeah, I got beat for it. Bad. Black and blue, my mom telling me over and over how unforgivable what I did was. But honestly, it didn't hurt, not compared to what I'd uncovered earlier that day. That night, I asked my mom just one question. Who is Auntie really? She didn't answer. She couldn't. A few years passed. First year of university, I finally moved out the second I had the chance. Got lucky, honestly. An old friend, bless his soul, took pity on me and let me stay with him since we were both going to the same uni. He's one of my best friends now. Life works in weird ways, I guess. But you want to know what finally gave me closure? Like real, gut-wrenching, can't breathe kind of closure? Clearing out my Instagram. I was doing a little social media detox, just deleting people I didn't care about or didn't even know. That's when I saw it. A familiar username in my followers list. Something about it made my stomach drop. I searched it up in the bar and boom, Auntie's Facebook popped up. She had been following me for who knows how long. Suddenly, all the creepy puzzle pieces snapped into place. The way she'd known things I never said in session. The way my mom had randomly decided to isolate me from my friends, cut off connections, tighten the leash. And the cherry on top? Her Facebook bio didn't say anything about psychology. Not even close. It read, chemistry teacher with over 20 years experience. I lost it. I cried like a baby that night, no shame. It had taken me years to understand why the two main women in my life had treated me like I was some kind of enemy. It still hurts. Honestly, I'm mourning time I'll never get back. While people my age are out making new memories, building their futures, I'm just trying to heal from a childhood I never chose. It sucks. Every person I've ever told my story to agrees. Something's deeply wrong with them. I just wish I'd seen it sooner, or maybe even had someone to believe me when I suspected it. But here's the part that matters most. 2 days ago, I had my very first session with a real psychologist. Trust me, I triple-checked his credentials this time. I was nervous as hell, ashamed even, when I told him the reason I was there. Why it had taken me this long. He just smiled and said, "Sounds like we've got a lot of work to do." Yeah, we do. Lol. I'm sharing this now just in case anyone out there has had therapy experiences that felt off, or if you've spent your whole life feeling like you were trapped in a hole nobody could see. I promise you, with a little luck and the right people around you, it does get better.